Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of our summer solstice sacred elements event. We are on the fourth element today. We are talking about the element of water. And on Sunday, don't forget, I will be back with you to talk about bringing it all together in the element of spirit. And spoiler alert, you are also that fifth element. You bring all the elements together within you. And we are going to tackle that, talk intuition. I'm going to talk tarot with you a little bit on Sunday. So carve out that time to spend your Sunday morning with me here and your community members in the chat area as we round out this summer solstice event. And today is water. So let's go ahead, get right into the presentation and we can explore, swim around in the water. All right. As a reminder, I make the assumption now that you have been here for the last few days. Maybe you've watched the replay of video or day 1, 2, or 3. But if you have just found your way here somehow, I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted. We've been doing this work since 2016. And while I am the person that you hear from the most in these classes, I am blessed beyond measure to be supported by all of the faces that you see here on your screen. The folks on the left, we've got Jenna, Anna, Patty, and Naomi. And together with myself, we make up the core team of the Sisters Enchanted. So we are your tech support. We are the people who create the programming. We build the website. We do all of the things. And we are a female funded, founded, operated from the ground up business. And we're really, really proud of that, doing this for 9 years strong to be in the position that we are in with totally figuring it out as we went along. So you've got Team Sisters Enchanted in the comments today helping you out. They'll be answering your questions as we go through so I can focus on talking about water. In the center, we've got Kiara and Nick. They work with Anna in our astrology class, and they bring years of astrology expertise and knowledge to our student body. And on the right, we have our wayfinders. These are our folks who are in our student community, helping everybody get where they need to go, find their resources, the links, and get questions answered. We've got Teresa, Renee, Melissa, Beth, and Risa. And a few of them are usually in the comments as well. The chat area, along with student. We always have plenty of students in our programs and community members who've been with us for short times and long times chiming in. So you are well supported in the comment area today if you need anything at all. I wanted to show you quickly too. Here's just some of the faces of our community. One of the things we're really proud of, here at the Sisters Enchanted is bringing together people from a wide range, age and stage, background of life, all around the common mission of transformation and self-trust and creating magical spiritual practices that just feel right. Stepping into our confidence, stepping into our power, our passion, our pleasure. And these are a few photos that I had sitting around readily available in the slide building area. So I thought I'd pop some on here for you. So if any of you are in the comments and you see yourself, I don't know, give a little wave emoji. But just so you can see, it's interesting to see everybody's names in the chat area. But getting to know our community members over the years and put names to faces is one of the most special things, I think, about doing something like this. We trying to bring the internet vibe to a more homey, cozy sort of, like your neighbors and friends environment, which isn't easy to do. Yet we are the kind of people who will pull everybody up the mountain over the finish line, no enchanted sister left behind. And we do that because we bring in community members who also share that value. And we are all in this together. As a reminder to you, we are a small business. This is a free event for you. It's not free for us to host these classes. It's not free for us to send emails, anything like that. And we do offer programming. And today we have opened registration for our holistic witchery program. This is the last opportunity to get the Conjuring Abundance and Astrology Fundamentals unit as they exist today with holistic witchery. If you're new here, that probably means nothing of importance to you. Like it doesn't make sense to you. But currently, we teach holistic witchery in 3 units. And starting in the autumn, we are bringing it all together into one long enmeshed experience, and we're looking forward to doing that. And this is the last opportunity, though, to get in for those separate units, which the students of the program will tell you that's probably what they really love. Is they love that they're going to retain access to those units afterwards, so they can refer back to them again and again. So holistic witchery is our program where we teach the magical practice portion. We take everything that I've been telling you about this week and we bring it together in a very in-depth way so you can use it in your daily life. And we've combined it to a mindset framework that we will teach you to utilize as well. We have our astrology fundamentals, conjuring abundance, and then when you register, you'll also join us for our Halloween virtual event in October. The classes run for the summer, Conjuring Abundance and Astrology Fundamentals, starting on Monday through August 21st. And then starting in September, the end of September through mid-March, we will go through the revamped version of Holistic Witchery, where the big changes will initially be seen in how we weave in the astrology and the Conjuring Abundance. And we have a super special class happening tomorrow, Witching 101, for anybody who's in Holistic Witchery today. So if you're a current holistic witchery student and you're seeing this, you're going to get the invite shortly after this. We'll get you the replay, of course, too. And if you register today, you'll be in for Witching 101, which is happening with me tomorrow. All right. We'll be sure to get you the links to that. You can check it out. One thing I want to be clear about here, we don't do FOMO at the Sisters Enchanted. So if it's not right for you, it doesn't fit into your financial values and your financial plan, it doesn't fit into your lifestyle, your belief system, you're not sure if you even like us as an organization, like you're kind of on the fence, then holistic witchery is probably not for you right now. If you are a person who would not lose sleep at night registering and it feels exciting and like nervous and scary all at the same time, then it might be for you. So be sure to check it out. All right, time to talk about water. Our only rule, remember, as you engage in the community is to lead with kindness with yourself, your peers, Sisters Enchanted folks. We don't have tone of voice, body language, or facial expressions as we chat through text. So keep that in mind. More and more text-based conversations, more and more important to keep that in mind. And as we share our values with you, remember it's our mission to bring transformation, self-trust to women through these witchery practices, through connection, through the elements, through the moon phases, through intuition and tarot, and all these tools that we love. We begin and end with self-trust. We are resourceful people. We believe time is sacred. It is your most valuable resource. You can pick up a side hustle and make more money. You cannot buy more time, right? Like the last minute you cannot get back. Treat time as sacred. We do that here, and we bring the magic to everything we do. We have talked about earth, air, fire. It is time to talk about the element of water. The element of water. We are talking about these elements. We can talk about them at any time of the year. We work with the elements every day in our lives. You are the elements incarnate. The world around you is representative of the elements. But as we explore the elements at the summer solstice, which is happening Friday and Saturday, we've got the longest day of the year happening this weekend. When we talk about the longest day of the year, we are acknowledging that the day after the longest day of the year, the days start to get shorter again. So when we work with the elements at this time of year, we can tap into the lessons of rhythm, the rhythm that the elements invite us to explore, the connection, the power that the elements invite us to explore. Because for so many of us, we are somewhere in that spectrum of the summer solstice in our lives where we are at that midpoint. We might be flanking it somewhere in that 20-year range, but as people live longer and longer, it's a long range for us to be in that midpoint transition. And I love this scene from Sex and the City. If any of y'all are Sex and the City fans, let me know. And also let us know in the chat if you are Sex and the City fans, if you're watching the Just Like That series and what you think, which is completely unrelated, but definitely opinions on that matter there. But I love this scene where Carrie is yelling at Big and Aiden, and she's saying, "Stop it, you're middle-aged." And they're arguing, they're like wrestling, right? They're fighting these two grown middle-aged men. And it's a great reminder as we think about the lessons of the elements. The elements are reminding us to be less restricted, to take up space, to go through the process, to to create, to flow, to shed, to do what our natural system calls us to do, right? But how many of us are in resistance to that within ourselves? We are fighting ourselves. We are the ones who need to stop it. You're middle aged and quit fighting ourselves, quit resisting ourselves, like fighting with who we will be, having that version of us, who we're going to be next year, tomorrow, with who we thought we were up until this point of time. And the fighting that can happen between that, how we hold on to dear life to this past version of ourselves because we've spent so much time cultivating it. Like if you've spent 30, 40, 50, 60 years as one version of you, but there is this piece of you that wants to grow and expand, like the tree canopy growing, or the fire moving through, or the playful wind that wants to knock the baseball cap off someone's head and dance around like a flitting fairy in the summer, right? Like that piece of you that just wants to explore and see what's next. But we're in this fight with everything that we've said we are so far. When we spend our whole lives being one way, and then this like wise, witchy, wondrous woman within is emerging, we get in this battle. And so Carrie's here to yell at us, "Stop it. You're middle-aged." Or you're somewhere around there, right? You're somewhere around there. So that is a great reminder at the summer solstice for all of us as we reach the turning point. The days have been getting longer and longer and longer, and now they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And what are we doing with this turning point energy? When it comes to the element of water, we work with water energy, or we tend to turn to it in a spiritual practice, a metaphysical practice, when we need healing. Like we feel like we need to heal our emotional body, our inner worlds, our that inner self. That is when we turn to water. In astrology, the moon is associated with water, and the moon is also associated in astrology with your inner body, your emotional world. And we feel like we need healing, nurturing, like energetic cleansing. I mean, literal cleansing also. Make sure, you're taking your showers, but healing, nurturing, energetic cleansing, we will turn to water. We also work with water though for passion, creativity, intuition. It's the swirling of all of that together, the passion, the creativity, the intuition, the healing. When we're in our passion, when we're in our creativity, we are nurturing ourselves. We are healing ourselves. We are working with our inner child energy and bringing that playfulness from the air through to the water when we are in creativity. So we work with water for a variety of reasons, but these are some of them: healing, nurturing, cleansing, passion, creativity, intuition, all swirling together in a beautiful cauldron of amazing moon charged water. Water is aligned with the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And the energy centers The sacral energy center. So we talked about this on day 2 when we talked about air. I like to work with water and the sacral energy center. That's my preference. You can also consider water and the heart center, that emotional sort of energy, and the third eye for that like dreamy Pisces intuition. That's a very Pisces sort of energy there. If we're going to align this, that Pisces water at the third eye, the Scorpio water at the sacral energy center, and the Cancer water kind of at the heart center. So, those of you who have a familiarity with astrology, that's sort of how we can envision how this might come together. Watercolors, well, not watercolors like paint, but literal colors of water. And water is clear, right? So it's reflecting whatever is under the surface or in the sky. But we associate water with blue, but water can also be shades of green and it can be shades of brown. So think about how you see water around you, how you engage with water, where you are in the world. Is water fresh? Is it salty? Is it crystal clear? Is it muddy? One of the ways to really connect with the elements is to understand how you connect with them. So if you live someplace where there's never snow and maybe you've never seen snow, I'm from Connecticut and so I don't think like, I'm like, whoa, somebody's never seen snow, but that's common that there are people who have never seen snow. If you are one of those people, you're not hearing water and thinking white chunks of ice. You're not thinking that initially. So, with all of the elemental associations, what makes sense for you? What do you align with? What do you connect with? Tools can be shells, sea glass, seaweed, literal water, steam, ice, anything found by or in water. So, if you live near a river or streams or creeks, lakes, river stones, whatever is near your body of water, those sorts of tools can help us to represent water in our spiritual practices. The moon, as I said before, is also related to the element of water. A cup or a chalice, any kind of vessel like a blue bowl can be used to represent water also. Salt, and that is sort of that salt water energy. And if you don't relate salt to water, that might not be the thing that you turn to. So, really understanding how do you connect with the elements. Now, remember, the focus this week is on embodying the element, being the elemental energy. There's the doing and the being. And actually, with water today, in a few minutes and a couple more slides, we are going to talk about embodying through the doing. So, water is the element that we naturally work with in our practical lives every day. And it's the easiest element to incorporate reminders of the embodiment into your life. So it's the easiest element. You're already reaching for it, you're already touching it, you're already engaging with water. And we can use those moments as anchors to embody the element of water as we move through our daily life. So when we think of water, we think of associations to water. I mentioned that we work with water for healing, for nurturing, for creativity. Water is a very mothering sort of energy. And when we look at astrology on the just coming up on the this weekend, Saturday, right? The sun moves into the sign of Cancer. We've got a new moon in Cancer next week. The moon loves Cancer. It's a very mothering, nurturing sort of energy. And one of the things that we don't love to do here at the Sisters Enchanted is really qualify masculine and feminine energies as separate to people, right? They are energies that we all utilize. They are energies that we can all pull from in our lives in the areas where we are best suited to work with them. So masculine energy when we want to take up space in a room and radiate our confidence, and feminine energy when we want to be active listeners and understand what someone is saying. And all people utilize these energies. When we think about our experience and what the world tells us, though, about a mothering energy, the world tells us that a mothering energy is a helping energy. It's a doing for you energy. It's the kind of energy that says, yes, let me serve you. It's the kind of energy that holds people even when that energy hasn't been held itself. And when we think of the calming energy of water, where we might want like nice water trickle sounds or a nice bath to relax or this like serene, beautiful lake. That is sort of the energy that we are connecting to this good, nurturing, healing, supportive, like being the calm in the storm sort of energy for other people. And that is one way to work with water energy. I love taking like a shower with intention and seeing the water wash away the day. I love sitting by the ocean or a beautiful river or a lake and just being and breathing in the essence of the energy and the cleansing. I love that as a way of existing. What we see, though, is the association to water and the feminine, and the idea that that is how we should embody the water energy, that we should embody that calming, nurturing, healing energy. But water has a whole other side to it that is very transformational, just like fire can be. And there is a moment in time where we all need to tap into that side of water energy for the power transformation creative side of water and come back again to ourselves. Pull our power back inward and create the energy we want to be living in rather than being responsive to it, rather than being responsive to it. So when we think about water and we think of this peaceful, healing sort of energy that water can bring, and even like my dentist's office has this water feature in the waiting room. It trickles and it's so calming, and there's ocean sounds. And it's very like, let's all calm down as we wait for the dentist to do the things we don't like them to do. But the fact of the matter is water is a creation energy. Water is like it's a liminal space between what is and what will be. Water heals through transformation. Water heals through creating what needs to be created. Right? Water is not by and large the stagnant thing that is doesn't change. It doesn't wait to be told what to do, right? Unless we're like making a man-made pond, natural water systems are constantly shifting. They are constantly moving things around, and they are crafting the landscape that needs to be crafted. So I mean, like we can literally look to nature for these lessons and see with the Grand Canyon, and we can see the riverway that helped to create the Grand Canyon, right? Over millions of years, water crafted this space. We can look if you live near a coastline. I live in Connecticut. This is in New Hampshire, where the glaciers used to be, and as they moved over land, they broke up the land and left these giant boulders behind. If you go I'm most familiar with New England hiking here in the US, but if you go hiking in the woods in northern New England, there are boulders everywhere, and they are left behind by ice moving out, breaking up the rock, and leaving these giant boulders behind. And ice, that is that frozen water, right? The restructuring of landscapes. So when we think of this idea of being in flow, and we think of like feminine flow, and I see this a lot with on social media and kind of in pop, I don't know what I want to say here. What's the word I want to use? Just modern metaphysics, this idea of the rise of the feminine. And as a person who minored in women's studies in college, I love the idea of the rise of the feminine, right? But the image we get is this like feminine flow, like flowy dresses and leading as like goddess figures. But the thing is that this energy, though, this goddess figure is really the figure that's not going to hesitate to drop a boulder. It's a figure that's not going to hesitate to create a new landform if it's what is necessary for the good of the collective. It's an energy that isn't going to hesitate. So water changes, water transforms. Water, it freezes, it steams, it cools, it heats, it moves, it picks up rocks and it drops them, it carves, it shapes, it gathers, it births. Water is so much more than healing, than nurturing, than you know, the emotional, like, calming that we have attached to the energy of water, particularly when we look at it as a feminine energy, which is what water is connected to in metaphysics. Water is all of this other energy as well. Water is truly a portal. It is a liminal space between what exists now and what will exist next. What exists now and what will exist next. Nothing stays the same when water moves through it. Nothing stays the same when water moves through it. You, my friend, are made up by and large of water. Nothing stays the same when water moves through it. You are not meant to stay the same either. You are not meant to stay the same either. Instead of just going with the flow, which is a phrase we all love to use, I just want to go with the flow a little bit more, right? And yeah, sure, there's a time and place for that. Like you're on vacation, you're just going to see what happens. But in your life, your one precious life that you have to live, become the flow. Water reminds us there is a time to go with that flow, and there is a time to become the flow. There is a time to become the water that creates the Grand Canyon. There is a time to be the glacier that breaks up the rock and leaves boulders in the forest. And there is a time to be the lazy river or the trickling stream. There is a time for both. And it's important that we don't disconnect from the two ways water energy can be. I think we default to the calming, healing nature and we disconnect from the power of water. And we think of fire as this like big transformation energy. And water is just as transformational. When you put water and fire together and you get that steam and that heat, anything can be created, right? Anything can be created. So the flow state of water is not saying yes to everything, right? Not saying yes, like, oh, I'm just going to be one of those helper, flowy, nurturing people who's easygoing. I'll just say yes because it's easy for me. It's harder for them. It's not a big deal. That is not the energy. That is not the vibe. Saying yes, being the flowy yes person. You want to use water energy to create something that didn't exist before you put your hands on it. Just like water creates these landforms that didn't exist before water touched them, right? Before water eroded, before water moved, before water changed. There's the yes flow energy, and there's the I'm going to create with my flow energy. What am I creating? What environment am I creating? What tone am I setting for the people who rely on me in my life? What needs to be shifted? What needs to be broken up? How can I use my inner healing, nurturing power water to break things up, change things, and create a new landscape? So we can shift the way we look at water from this like passive sort of element to this very powerful element, and then shift the way we look at ourselves if you're a person who identifies as a mothering, nurturing, healing sort of figure. If you're that person in your world, everybody calls when something is going wrong. They want your feedback. They want you to talk them off the ledge. They want you to calm them down. They want you to hear, and hear them cry and hold them. If you're that person, instead of putting on your I'm going to flow and heal them hat, how can we put on the I'm going to shift the landscape sort of energy of water to create the environment that's needed for the moment in time? And take power over our sacred time, take power back over who it is we want to be, not who we've been every day up till this point in time and make sure we're filling our own cups with powerful water energy and not draining them all the time in the name of being good and healing and nurturing, because that's how we've been created to be. Water is a creator. Uh, the the liminal space of creation lives within you. What are you creating? So, the thing about water, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is it's the element that we are very much connected with every single day without even thinking about it. Chances are you are showering or bathing or washing your hands, I hope, during the day. Like you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your hands. You are literally touching water in a cleansing way each and every day. You are having your morning coffee or your tea or your lemon water or your, I don't know, your crystal light packet, your electrolytes, like name your thing. You are engaging with water every day in that way, probably at the start of the day. Maybe you're drinking water throughout the day. If you're not, this is your reminder to drink your water throughout the day. Or drink some fluids, stay hydrated. We all need to be hydrated. Let's hydrate ourselves. But you are engaging with water constantly. And one of the things that can go very sideways for a woman who is creating a spiritual practice for the first time, or maybe you've been into, like, how do I want to say it? You've been into the witchy things, or you're like, yes, raise my hand, I'm a witch person. No doubts about it. And it can start to feel like another thing you have to do, or a hobby you're failing at, or like there's some secret sauce, like aspect to it that everybody else knows because they must be doing these like rituals with incense and tarot and crystals, and it just doesn't feel like that for you, or what you see in a picture, you can't create the feeling and you feel like you're doing it wrong. Well, the thing about creating a practice in witchery with the elements, with the moon, is that when it becomes part of your life, it becomes part of who you are. And it's no longer a thing that you have to seek to do, because it becomes part of just how you exist. And this is bringing the everyday magic into your life. So when you're feeling like you want to yell at the grocery store person because they rang something up 4 times, now you have to go stand in the customer service line and you've got someone crying over here and you got to get there or whatever, right? You remember the elemental power that we talked about this week. You remember that you are the tone setter, and your spiritual practice becomes something that you do all the time. And you find that life starts to get easier, and you find that your confidence starts to grow, and you find that you don't need to seek validation and have somebody tell you that your ideas are good or that you're not wild and thinking dumb things, because you trust yourself more and your confidence grows, right? And so we can work with water in the very mundane ways you're already enjoying water. So when you're taking a shower or a bath or washing your hands, click on the thought that reminds you water is so powerful. I am so powerful. And that power is just washing over me right now. We're doubling down on it. When you drink your morning beverage, it's no longer this thing that you do begrudgingly because you got to get out of bed and go to the job you don't want to go to or something, right? Like you just don't want to do the things. This is now your moment to connect to your inner water. You are the portal of creation. You are a walking liminal space, and you are connecting to it right now and reminding yourself of that. Drink your water and remind yourself of that throughout the day. Put a cool sticker on a water bottle that makes you feel totally like it, you love reading the sticker. It's a great reminder, and you charge yourself up as you are drinking it. We use water to clean. We look in the mirror. If you're looking in a mirror, that is a water tool. A mirror is a water tool. It is reflective. What is it that you're thinking about yourself when you look in the mirror? What are you saying to yourself when you look in the mirror? Imagine how different life could be if you, for 30 seconds every morning, looked yourself in the mirror and this became a daily ritual for you. And you said, I am a portal of creation. If you said that every morning for 21 days, 28 days, a lunar cycle, 29 days, the new moon is on June 25th. Every morning, I am a liminal space. I am a portal of creation. I am water I am water. I'm walking water. If you charge yourself up and hold yourself with the same reverence that you hold these elements and these magical tools and the crystals and the tarot and all the things we all love, you will shift your energy. You will shift your energy. Your evening face wash, a wonderful way to honor your journey through this lifetime. A wonderful way to honor your journey through this lifetime. I wash my face every night. I'm currently, okay, I'm not literally doing this, but I feel like I'm counting the gray hairs in my eyebrows, and I'm wondering why there's so many of them when like most of the hair on my head is still brown. It seems disproportionate. Like my eyebrows are graying faster than my hair. And so when I'm washing my face, though, that water becomes this sacred ceremony to honor all of this, to honor everything that has come before. And who am I going to bed as? And who am I waking up as tomorrow? How do I want to feel with earth? What are the stories running through my energy with air? What is it that I transformed today? What shadows came up for me today? Where did I see myself in a shadow or see myself create a shadow for somebody else? And then I had to manage my energy through that. So I didn't revert back in order to keep them comfortable. And then using water to count my gray eyebrow hairs and say, look at all the wisdom I've gained. Look at all the power I have. I've made it here. I'm going to make it somewhere great again tomorrow. And water is the element that you are literally touching every single day. I hope you're doing at least one of the things I mentioned on these two slides. I hope you're doing one of them and connecting with the water element. And it is the easiest way to make your everyday life part of your spiritual practice. You just who you are is your spiritual practice, and water is right there for you to utilize, for you to experience, for you to anchor in and remind yourself of these different elemental energies we've talked about this week. So as I just wrapped it for you here with earth, we have the rhythm of the seasons. We have the stories, the lessons rather of nature, the trees, uh, flowers, seasonal flowers telling us all the time that there is a time to settle, there's a time to bloom, there's a time to take up space, there's a time to shed away, release, and start all over again. This seasonal cycle is mimicked in the moon phases as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit on Sunday. So be sure to come back for that. And we do have a new moon next week. So perfect time to put it into practice. And then with air, we have the stories running through us. What are we breathing life into? What are we constricting, right? What are we expanding? We have fire and shadow we talked about yesterday. And then, of course, our water. And the tendency for us to lean into the healing, cleansing, nurturing aspect of water. But water truly is this portal to transformation. Nothing touched by water is the same, right? Water touches, and whatever it touched is now different. And the power that is in water is it's like that hidden power within us that we maybe some shadow work. Maybe we don't acknowledge it, right? We got to pull it back out again. We got to pull it back out. All right. If you love all of this, then consider joining us in Holistic Witchery. Remember, we still do have a class on Sunday where we're going to talk about spirit. We are going to bring together the cycle, and I'm going to talk tarot with you as well. But if you are interested in continuing on with us, if you've been here for a while, if this is not new to you, consider joining us in Holistic Witchery. We are teaching Conjuring Abundance over the next few weeks, starting on Monday, and then Astrology Fundamentals. If you are a current student, don't worry. You retain access to everything you already have. So when you register, you will retain access to the all programming and the shifts that we're making for the autumn session. You will also get that. So it's kind of like a twofer, which is amazing. And you're going to like the shifts to astrology, I think, that we are making. It's going to dive into, we're going to start with this like, who am I energy? And that's going to happen in September. where we will start going through the revised program. But if you register now, you are going to be able to join us for sort of our summer school, which begins on Monday. And then, of course, when you register today, I'm teaching Witching 101 tomorrow. All of our current students will be invited to that as well. We have all these amazing extra resources that are in with Holistic Witchery, a whole set of moon meditations, the Confidence Cure Kit, the live Halloween event, the moon centers and Kundalini yoga is in there. It is robust. The thing about Holistic Witchery that's different than other programs is that it is a program and a toolkit in one. So we don't expect anybody to start and like read every line of everything and watch every video start to finish one time through. We fully anticipate this to be your working like grimoire magical station that you come back to again and again and again. And we have been teaching this program since 2019. We've been teaching online since 2016. And we're very proud of our student community, the type of people who come together. We're very clear about who we are, what we value, and we hope that that really helps people to see if this is the right place for them, because the internet is a whole wide world and there are lots of communities to be in. And remember, we don't do fear of missing out here at the Sisters Enchanted. We do send a free weekly newsletter. We put up YouTube videos, a weekly podcast. So if this is not something that's in alignment with your financial position, your financial values, just where you want to be spending your time right now, or you're just not sure about us, that is okay. And I hope you know it's okay. And we do offer these other resources that we are putting out, though, for everybody to utilize and enjoy. Holistic Witchery, though, it is the secret sauce to my magic life. And I know our community members and team Sisters Enchanted raises their hands and seconds that motion. So if it is something that you're thinking about, be sure to check it out and let us know if you have any questions. You can reply to any of our emails and Jenna will help you out. We do kick off on Monday, though. So if you're on the fence, you'll want to get in there, and a little guide for you as to how we run it. Again, this summer, we are teaching Conjuring Abundance and Astrology Fundamentals. And then in the autumn, we are releasing sort of the newly revamped portion of astrology. Our expansion archetypes program is in there, and then we'll get into the moon and chakras and everything that we love and dive deep into our thought work framework, and that will take us into the spring. And then we will start it again. And then once you're registered, you're in and you can join again and again and again. We have people who have taken this program for 5-6 years running now, and familiar faces that we see on the Zoom calls and say, hello, it's nice to see you. And I love hearing how everybody grows and shifts and changes. The thing that is amazing is you are never, just like water, you are never the same person twice, right? So you go through something, whether it's this free class with us here this week or something like Holistic Witchery, you do it one time and you are seeing it with the eyes you brought here today. So even if it's if it's the free classes you enjoy, or it's something like Holistic Witchery, the next time you do it, you are coming to it with different eyes because you're a different person. You've taken what you've experienced, you've integrated it, you've shifted a little bit. And then the next time your perception changes and the way you receive the information changes because you are different. You've had different experiences. You have had new wins and new failures, and you come to the information with a different sort of perspective and you take it in a different way. So wherever you are on your journey, we hope to keep hanging with you here at the Sisters Enchanted, and definitely hope to see you on Sunday as we dive into spirit. I'll have my tarot cards ready, and that will be a fun day for us. All right, y'all, earth, air, fire, water. Be sure to go to the content delivery page. We are going to put the replay up for you in a little bit, and you will have your block for the spell of the day. When you do the 4 spells of the day, you will get a free gift tomorrow in your email inbox. Are you ready? The spell of the day today is I swim in possibility. I swim in possibility. I swim in possibility. My son, who's 8 years old, loves to remind me that we don't know much about the ocean, actually. There's so much of the ocean left unexplored. There is so much of your inner world left unexplored. We swim in possibility. I swim in possibility. All right. That is your spell of the day. So you will put that on the form. We will email it to you when it is ready. It'll be a couple hours. And then tomorrow, when you do all four, you can watch the replays to get the others. We will send you a free gift. That is our way of helping pull you up the mountain because we know how challenging it is to carve out time for yourself in this world that we live in and to say yes to something for you and not be distracted by the millions of things that are out there to distract us from our own selves. All right, y'all, that is it for me today. I will see you on Sunday, same time, same place. Be sure to head to your content page. Let us know if you have any questions about holistic witchery. We would love to have you. And if it's not the right time, I hope to, like I said, see you on Sunday. All right, y'all, stay magic out there. Have a great weekend and summer solstice. The longest day of the year is here, almost. All right, bye, everyone.